Welcome into A Terrible Football Show, episode 59, the final episode of season 2 of ATFS. We got all the boys here with us. Boys, hell of a season. Hell of a season, season 2 of ATFS. Hell of a season. Had Ricky join the show to kick off the season. Jacob came midway through, or pretty early on, actually, not midway. Either way, we have a great team here. Season 2 coming to a close. We're on a break next week, and then coming back Wednesday, March 15th, which happens to be the kickoff of NFL free agency, and that will be episode 60, the start of season 3 of the ATFS. It's going to be phenomenal. To end off season 2, we're going to be doing mock draft 2.0s to kind of give a vibe of where we're feeling before free agency kicks off, before the combine takes place this week. I got a spicy one, boys. I'm ready for my mock draft here today. I've been ready for it for days, man. I've been cooking in the kitchen. I might have added a little too much spice, but that's okay. It's a mock draft. That's why we're here. It's going to be a great time. But boys, how we doing? How we feeling? Everyone's here. We had 2 guys out sick last week. We'll start with you two boys. How you feeling now?
I'm personally feeling pretty great.
Fantastic.
I felt like I was dying last week, and as you can see, I am not dead.
Congratulate. That's great. That's great news. Let's go. Ricky, what about you? How are you feeling after your sickness last week?
Oh, I feel like I need to go off on something. I just don't have anything to go off on right now.
Not today. Maybe when we come back in a couple weeks, you know?
Maybe when we come back in a couple weeks. Maybe.
Actually, give it a little bit. Let's get to round pick like 26. You might got something to go off on for me. I'll let you. We'll get there when we get there. Shane, what about you? You're feeling a little under the weather, but how you doing? How you feeling besides being under the weather?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty fine, except for spending most of the day today on the toilet.
I know those feels, man. Did you shit yourself?
No.
Okay.
No. Came close.
All right.
It woke me up about 4 o'clock this morning.
Okay. Shout out to Boston Connor with Pat McAfee Show. First episode back yesterday, and immediately he's just like, yep, I pooped myself on vacation. And went into a full detailed story of how he shit his pants. So that's why I had to make sure. It's fresh on the brain right now. I had to make sure you didn't shit yourself. Jacob, Ricky, did either of you shit yourselves? We good? No poop in the pants?
You know, I'm not sure if I did or not. So I can neither confirm nor deny.
So it's a maybe for you. Okay, Ricky, did you poop yourself while you were last week? Did you poop your pants, Ricky?
Oh, no. I didn't even have the shits last week.
Okay. All right. No poop in the pants. All right. We're good here at ATFS. That's what I like to hear. All right. So before we jump into things, number one, make sure to check out some Rogue Energy. They did just launch 2 new hydration flavors, the Rainbow Candy and Strawberry Bubblegum. I know Zach just made a huge order recently. Shout out to him. And he's getting the Strawberry Bubblegum. He's going to let me know how it is. As well as go over to Agent Inc., pick up a jersey because they're awesome. They have a trash can on it. So why wouldn't you want it? Join the Discord. You can come chat with us. Discord's open to anyone, you, your friends, and everyone. It's going to be a great time. Ooh, music ended at the perfect time. Turn that down. So, yeah, we're going to be doing mock draft 2.0 today. That's really the bulk of this show today. There's a couple of things that we can kind of shout out as we want, but and we'll start with that. We'll start with some general shout-out stuff. You know, boys, how we feeling about stuff going on in the league right now or stuff going on with the XFL? Have anyone got a chance to actually sit down and watch some? I watched a little bit of Orlando getting their shit wrecked again this weekend, and that was about the gist of I got to watch.
Yeah, I think go ahead, Shane.
I got to watch Orlando get smacked, and then their coach tell all their players,
yeah,
no, we just ain't them. Pretty much, like those guys need to get better.
Straight up,
different guys out there.
Straight up, his reaction is like that one meme video where he's just like, "I know it's a team sport, but where's the coach? Like, I know it's a team sport, but I put together a perfect game plan. These players, they just stink. All right, it's their fault. That's basically what I saw there. Is I saw that meme 100%.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think there are 2 things that I've learned just watching the first 2 weeks of the XFL. I caught more in the first week than I did this past week. Number one, AJ McCarron could still play. I think everybody can possibly agree AJ McCarron can still play. And Ben DiNucci just needs to quit. He just needs to stop. Just stop. Just stop. Be done, my man. Just be done. It's okay that you can't play professional football. Just be done, man.
Just let him live his life, man.
Stop.
Just let him live his life.
Man, goodness gracious, we could play quarterback better than he can. It's terrible. Oh, it's so terrible.
I wanted to root for him so bad.
I know.
So bad.
Yeah.
Because he's a likable person. He is a very likable person. But damn, can he not play quarterback?
Nope. give him something else to do. Just give him something else to do.
Give him
Maybe he
something
can be a
else to
receiver.
do. Man. Oh man, how are we overall feeling about the XFL comeback so far? Super positive, super mixed.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's been pretty entertaining. I mean, it helps that my team's 2-0 and had two like damn good comebacks. So
Well, you couldn't be saying that during the regular season for the NFL, so I'll give you that much.
hey,
College football.
hey, I've got to win. I've got to win somewhere, right?
Exactly. I mean,
It
that's
can't
just how it works.
it can't just be fantasy.
Yeah, that
That's
is
true.
It's
Shout out to Shane winning the fantasy championship. The trophy is right up there. Oh no, I mean I've watching it from afar. I've enjoyed the XFL being back, and I do also like that they've got that multi-year partnership lined up with Under Armour. They announced that I think yesterday I saw, so then, that's pretty good. Add some more credibility to the brand and everything. Just looking forward to seeing how much more things are going to continue to grow over the next couple of years with this. So just something to kind of keep an eye out for, and see what NFL rejects go down to the XFL. Carson Wentz, call him up. He's available at this point. Let him go down. Let him go down and play for the DC Defenders, I guess.
I mean, by
Well, I
what
mean,
I
of
saw,
course.
Arlington needs them.
There we go. Carson Wentz.
Of course, I think one thing that it's really going to stand out for the XFL is if they can compete with the ratings when Fox picks up USFL, which USFL starts in April.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to see how that goes but as far as the XFL, it's positive, just like it was in 2020. There's just, knock on wood, there's just no pandemic right now that's affecting anything, and so that's what hurt it last time. When you bring it back for a first year and forever, basically a first year league starting over again, and you've got to stop within 3-4 weeks of the season. That's not very good. You're not going to get revenue after that. So
that's tough.
Hopefully it does stick around. I think the owners have done a terrific job on the rules. The rules are basically the same as what they were whenever they did bring it back. Um, I like how they have the head of officials. He's already in looking at every single play. He's not having to stop every single play. He's like, look, you just go. You don't have to go to the monitor. I can see it from here. I like how they're doing that. As far as that goes. And so yeah, just overall, so far, just a positive experience so far.
The NFL is actually looking about implementing the XFL's kickoff style.
And that would be safer, considering that I'm telling y'all, as a fan, we see it and we're like, man, we love those hits. But being down there on the field as an official, guys, you hear that loud pop, you think someone's breaking something. It hurts me just by even listening to it. Goodness
As a
gracious.
former player who's had 7 concussions in his life, those hits may sound nice to fans, but they are no. I would not wish that on anybody.
Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, I remember in 7th grade, shout out Darian Jarrett, if anybody knows him. We were practicing onside kick, and I was on the hands team. And I went for a nice flip because the ball went high in the air, and I got tossed in the air like it was a Kansas tornado, and it was not fun.
Kansas tornado.
I like that. Kansas tornado.
Oh man,
it sounds like a finisher move.
It does. That's what I was thinking. It's like, Shane, is this your secret finishing move that you've been working on recently?
No.
Come on, don't be shy.
But as far as the XFL and USFL goes, I think what they should be pushing for and what the NFL should be looking into. I want to get y'all guys' thoughts on this. I would love to see them be put into an NFL, be put into the NFL in such a branch like a development league. The NBA's got the G League, and then of course baseball's got AA and AAA and the whole minor situation. I would love something like that. Regardless as if they both combine and make something, or one just beats the other one out for it. That's for them to decide, or they do something like baseball and do like a XFL is kind of like an upper echelon development league, and then you kind of got like your B class in the USFL or however they want to do it. But I would definitely like to see something like that. because that only helps the sport and helps the game in total, right? Because for these rules that are trying to get passed into the NFL, you could use those two leagues as kind of an experiment thing. And then also, I mean, more pro players, more opportunities, and you also going to have a situation where, and I've talked about this a lot, where you can have these all-star quarterbacks, right? I think Jordan Love's is an excellent kind of representation of this. Like, you're not gonna start over Aaron Rodgers coming in, right? So why not send him to a development league like USFL or XFL? Let him develop and play there for 2-3 years, and by the time Aaron Rodgers is gone or retires or whatever he chooses to do, he's ready. He's had game reps. He's had like game time speed. Yes, it may not be up to NFL standards, but it's faster than college, because most of these players are XFL or ex-NFL players or players that were just on the bubble and just couldn't get over that hump. So that's what I would like to see from that.
Honestly, and I'll add on to that, Shane, because I completely agree with you on that. Something else that the NBA does, if if you have so many injuries to where you can't have an active roster, pull from the G League
Yep.
or whatever the development league
You
is
can
going to be
call people
called.
up. Yep.
You can call people up just like they do in baseball. Like baseball, Double A and Triple A players get caught up all the time. I mean, it's just a constant. Of course, you and I have a mutual friend who is playing Class A ball right now, Ben Madison.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to get the call to Double A last year just because of his stats, but that's neither here or there. But players like them in the farm system, they get caught up all the time because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to develop. And I think that we will have a better product in the NFL if we were to do that. Baseball right now uses a supplemental league to have different rules to where they can do research to make the game better, like Shane was talking about earlier. Some of them are stupid that I hope I never see again, that I hope I never see, but we're starting to see some of those rules come into light right now just in baseball. And so for the NFL, I think it would make a better product because you have players like an AJ McCarron who are playing in this league, so he could be closer to basically he could have a home life while he's in the XFL. His sons can watch him play, and he's not on a team. Let's just say some random NFL team. Let's just say he was a backup for the Cowboys, where he's just sitting on the bench and he's not getting any kind of reps in. So I 100% agree. I think that would be excellent for something like that with the NFL.
And not only that, what you see from baseball as well, you get these big time players, having long extended injuries, right? Most of the time, unless you're just, phenomenal, you get sent down to those minor leagues, to kind of get your rhythm back, right? And that kind of game speed, reps, and kind of work your way back up into to whatever team you're going to. We've seen that multiple times in the MLB, and that'd be something I would be okay with. Like, hey, if you're projected to come back from a torn ACL on, week 6 or whatever, then you'll spend week 6 and 7, in the development league, whatever they choose to do, and then week 8 will be your, week back. Even though you've already had 2 weeks back in that development league, you're going to come back into that week 8 in the NFL season a lot better and per se because you've had those game reps by not necessarily just being thrown into the fire.
I think developmental league for the NFL, in my opinion, is long overdue. Just from the sheer amount of players we see come in and get out of the league so quickly that never get a chance for development, and I think there would have to be a lot of varying factors that have to go into it. Because one example that you used, Shane, was Jordan Love. I think if for Jordan's Love case, like, him being like a first round draft pick and everything, he would, I feel like players in that situation would want to have financial security. You know what I mean? Like, you're going down to the supplemental league. Am I still getting the pay that I would be getting as a first round draft pick? Like, they can understand why they're going there because they're just going to be a backup or whatever. But it's like, what is the pay structure going to be like? Because that's what it's all going to come down to for these higher draft picks. For the lower draft picks, they're not going to give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of day 3 draft guys, that are just going to like eat it up and go for it. So with how much money it goes into the NFL and all these players. I feel like that's going to be the biggest holdup is in deciding who will go down there and who will willingly go down there. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of guys that are fighting for roster spots, they will more than happy go down there. But there's that small little gray area of players that, you know, you could see a team wanting to send down there, but then it's going to be like, are they going to be willing to do it? Are they going to be, you know, a diva about it or something? But, you know, I feel like it's, you know, something that would be great for the game, just make the game better, not only from a developmental standpoint, but also like what you guys are saying with the, you know, testing rules and stuff like that. You know, because the NFL, you know, they had their sub-league many moons ago, the NFL Europe, and there were, you know, notable quarterbacks come out of that one, Kirk Warner, Jake Delhomme, and others. You know, so I feel like something like if there could be a partnership set up between either the USFL or the XFL with the NFL in X amount of years, I do think that could be better for the game. I would bet my money that it'd be the XFL. I would bet my money on that one, that it would be the XFL that would manage to strike that deal where it could be a developmental league, and then, you know, each team, you know, assuming they stick at 8 teams, you know, basically have assigned teams in the pros that, you know, they kind of directly link with. You know, I don't think it'd just be a free-for-all frenzy. You know, I feel like it'd be kind of similar to the AAF, that dumpster fire of a league that crashed and burned horribly. Each of those teams in that league, they were set where it's like, you know, this team is linked to this NFL team. So I feel like it'd be set up the same way if that deal would ever get struck. But ultimately, what's going to come down to for that to even happen is the XFL just continue to have success. If they just continue to have success, continue to grow, then it may entice the NFL to maybe call up The Rock and Danny Garcia and make something happen. You know, but I do think it'd be great for the game.
Yeah, and I think honestly the best thing that could happen is merging the XFL and USFL and kind of having those 4 or 5 people that own both of them kind of come together and reach an agreement, because then you're not only stuck with 8 teams, because there's like 12 in the USFL.
I think there's still is there only 8? I think there's only 8.
Okay, well, I mean, even then, like you could start a league, you know, I mean,
16 teams,
and
yeah.
split in two divisions. You know, the teams that are in the XFL are one division, the teams that were in the USFL one division, and you have a wider spectrum of teams to where, you know, maybe not every team could have a lower league team, but I mean, it's not like you can't go in there and still pull from them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would just have to offer stuff up. And then second to that, I mean, these players that are on practice teams, like, you don't think they much rather, you know, go and play meaningful snaps for a team rather than
they 100% would.
Because, I mean, I was good friends with Dennis Johnson, ex-NFL and Razorback running back for a long time, for a couple of years, when I worked for Dollar General, actually, because he lived right down the road from the one that we worked at, Ricky. And he used to come in all the time, and we'd chat and stuff, and he said he hated his time in the practice squad, like on the practice team. He said that was one of the main reasons why he dipped out of there. After his short stint and kind of explosion that he had for those 2 or 3 games or whatever he did play in, but yeah, I mean, I think it's something that would just help everybody in football.
Jacob, you got anything you want to add on to that?
Nah, that was summed up beautifully.
Yeah. Overall, just the best thing for the league is the bottom line. I think we can all agree to that. We just want the league to get better, especially in the rule department. You know, referees. Hey, developmental. Yeah, there you go. Good place for the refs to grow, baby. You know, that's what we need. That's what we need. All right, let's go ahead and look at going through our mock 2.0s. After that, if we got some time, we may speed run some random news and kind of give thoughts on it. But mock 2.0s, definitely want to get into this because I've got some spicy stuff. At least I think it's spicy. I think it's very spicy. I like what I've cooked up in the kitchen, personally. So,
if you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Bingo. All right, so I'm also going to use an effect for this for our audio listeners to add a little extra pizzazz to the whole experience of going through the mock draft and everything. So I think I don't know what's gonna be the best way to do it. I think since I'll be doing like the initial announce, just one of you guys jump in because I'm just gonna leave it open to with the whatever pick, the whatever team, and I'll leave it at that in case someone has a trade. I'm not gonna say the whatever team selects. I'll just say the whatever team, and just one of you guys jump in. I'll always end it off. Sound good?
Sound good.
All right, bet.
I will say before you start that, if this sounds terrible, just know that you're listening to a terrible football show and you signed
Bingo.
up for it. So
you signed up for it when you clicked on the episode. That's right, baby. Love it. That's what's up. That's what's up.
And we might be famous one day.
Hey, there's no might. We will. That's the goal, baby. That's the goal, baby. All right. Let's do it. With the first overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears. Anyone? Dive in.
Trade away their pick.
Trade.
I also have a trade. Who do you guys have? Who's the trade? I wonder if we're still all on the same page. And who's the pick, boys?
I have them trading it down. I still think Indianapolis wants Bryce. I think they want to get ahead. And I think even with Bryce's, technically, I think he's around 5'10", 5'11". We've seen quarterbacks in the league be able to get around that and still have success. So I have Indianapolis with the number 1 overall pick, selecting Bryce Young.
I've got the same.
Hey guys. I have the Chicago Bears trading the pick to the Indianapolis Colts. But the Indianapolis Colts will select quarterback CJ Stroud with The Ohio State University. Here's my thing. I genuinely believe with the head coach they hired, I think CJ is the better fit for this team and what that coach is going to be looking for. That's my stance on this. Now, I want to stress this right now. I am aware that the Colts could stay where they are at 4 and probably still get CJ, and the trade may kind of seem like worthless in a way, But I think if they're going to make this decision, it's going to be like a split-second decision. Like it's going to come down to the wire. I think they're going to make the trade happen so they can get above the Texans and have the pick of the litter. But I think as of right now, I've been swayed. I think it's going to be CJ Stroud if it's going to be Indianapolis. I think that better fits the mold of what Shane is going to be looking for. Shane being the head coach, not you, Shane, up in Indianapolis. I think it fits more of the mold of like what he may try to replicate with what Jalen Hurts was. Same sort of build and a talent ability and stuff. So right now I've got CJ Stroud. That's part 1 of my multi-layer of spice. I've got some very interesting wild takes coming here soon. But with that said, with the second overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Bryce Young. For me.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I have them selecting CJ Stroud.
I'm going to stick with Will Levis. I don't. Now this could all, because I had it the first time too, guys. Guys, there's just something about CJ Stroud. And now the combine could change everything.
Yep.
But for right now, if we were talking about pro potential quarterback, we're talking about a guy who played at a basketball school. We're talking about a guy who didn't have an offensive line that was about as good as Vanderbilt's offensive line, and you saw how bad that. Well, they weren't that bad this year. They were actually all right this year, but you're talking about a guy who is the most pro potential quarterback, and the Houston Texans need someone that's ready to be a pro quarterback. I'm not saying CJ Stroud isn't the guy. I don't think he's the guy for the Houston Texans, at least not yet. Like I said, I could be wrong. They could select CJ Stroud, but I think they're going to go Will Levis. I've got a feeling they're still going to go Will Levis.
Okay. All right. I respect that. I actually like that. The combine is going to literally change everything, especially because all these top quarterbacks are actually throwing at the combine, which is something that's like legit, has not been done in a while.
Bryce is not. He's waiting
I thought he
until
was.
his pro day.
I thought he was throwing.
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, we know CJ and Will and obviously Anthony Richardson are, and then the guys after them. So it's going to be a very spicy, combine here soon.
Well, and it makes sense though, guys, because if you think about it, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, and who's the other guy we were talking about? Richardson, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
Can't even think of the damn guy's name.
the bust.
They have yeah, he's gonna be a bust. But those three have something to prove because they already know who the number one pick is gonna be, and it's gonna be Bryce Young. Take granted if they do happen to the Colts do happen to trade up for CJ Stroud, more points more points to you. But in retrospect, everybody's saying Bryce Young is going to be the number one pick. So you have to find a way to prove yourself to these scouts, saying, you know what? Okay, you want Bryce Young, that's fine, but let me show you what I can do.
Bingo. I'm looking forward to the combine just because of all the guys that's actually participating in it. It's going to be great. Also, shout out to Ben Kurt. He's also going to be thrown at the combine he's going to be the quarterback throwing to the wide receivers and tight ends. I saw he's been posting it on Twitter. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he's been excited about that.
Yeah, shout out to him. All right, next up. With the third overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama. That's my pick. Still, I'm locking it in.
I got a trade.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, I love it.
Hang on. And we have a trade alert. The Arizona Cardinals are trading their pick away to
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh.
Interesting.
In the trade, the Raiders get pick number 3 and pick number 108, while the Arizona Cardinals throw away pick 7, 38, 143, and the 2024. They get a 2024 second and third round pick. That being said, the Las Vegas Raiders select quarterback Anthony Richardson from Florida. Now, let me explain. I understand this is a very, 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 very aggressive move, but there's a viable plan behind it. Josh McDaniels can convince either Jimmy Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett to be the bridge quarterback in 2023. Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson gets a full year of development with NFL coaching. I think if McDaniels can get the most out of Richardson training-wise, Richardson might be one of the better players from this draft.
You need to relax.
Looking back at it 5 years from now.
This is my take. I'll be quick about this.
Oh, you're good.
I want to agree. I want to agree, but coming from a person that, yes, I have not played high school quarterback. Yes, I have not played college quarterback. But as a person has spent a lot of time playing that position and learning the position to try and be as good as I can for the places that I do play, and even getting people at D1 and other coaches. I even had Clint Sterner have a one-on-one session with me, and the biggest thing he said is the number one thing you cannot teach is accuracy. That's his biggest flaw. If for some reason, if God gives him the talent to learn that, I 100% agree. He will be the best quarterback out of this class, and probably in the next 3 classes.
Let me make a dumb argument to that. You don't need accuracy when you're throwing to people like Devontae Adams.
Fuck it, he's out there somewhere.
Exactly.
Jacob, here's why I disagree with you.
Let's hear it.
You're not going to throw away everything to get a guy like Anthony Richardson. If you have if Bryce Young was still on the board at this point, I could see them making that move because that's a move you would have to make. They're not throwing everything away just to move up to a third pick to draft Anthony Richardson. If they're going to do that, they have to get somebody that's ready now. They need somebody that's ready now. Like right now.
I don't think that's throwing away everything, though. I'll be honest with you.
You don't draft a first-round NFL quarterback to put him in development for a year. You draft a first. Jordan Love was a
yeah.
Jordan Love was a different situation because they already had a quarterback, and you look at Aaron
What
Rodgers
about
right
Trey
now.
Lance?
We're playing the same damn scenario with Aaron Rodgers that we've been playing with the last 5-6 years. Is he coming back? Is he not coming back? Is he coming back? We're playing the same scenario. We're at a totally different scenario. The Raiders need somebody that can lead them now, because right now it's all on Aaron Rodgers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to go to the Raiders, or is he going to go to the Jets, or is he going to stay a Green Bay Packer? Because everything else has to fall into place for them to get to that point. So if I'm the Raiders, you have no money, so there's no way you could just go get someone like Jimmy Garoppolo as it is. If they're going to draft, they're going to have to go cheap, real dirt cheap, and they have to get somebody right now that's ready. And Anthony Richardson is not ready right now.
That's why they get a guy like Jacoby. They retain Jacoby for a year.
Or
Which
bring
is
back, or bring,
dirt cheap.
or bring back
Possibly.
in Marcus Mariota. He just got cut.
That's true.
True, but here's the thing: will Marcus Mariota take that much of a pay cut?
At this point, I don't think you care if he's not going anywhere else. He
Yep.
knows that.
He'll be in the XFL starting for Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci's going to be released.
Basically. I do like the spiciness behind that, though.
I do. I like the spice too. I like the spice
Shane,
too.
It's a Raiders type of move.
It would. To be fair, it is a
move.
Raiders type of move. To be
If
fair.
Al Davis was still alive, I would wholeheartedly agree.
Shane, what about you? Who do you got going number 3 to Arizona?
I have Will Anderson.
Okay, safe pick.
I think he's the top 3, if not the best defensive player in this draft.
I agree. All right, next up. With the 4th overall pick, now held by the Chicago Bears select Jalen Carter from Georgia.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And by the way, I had Will Anderson going into the Cardinals.
All right, right on. All right. With the 5th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks.
I would go and take this one away, boys. Tyree Wilson, edge, Texas Tech.
Will Anderson Jr., edge, Alabama. But I will say I would not be shocked if Seattle takes a quarterback at number 5.
I wouldn't either, and I almost went quarterback here. I don't know. I really think they need someone defensively.
I agree. I wanted them to take quarterback here. But in my opinion, even though I've heard that Pete Carroll's very high on Will Levis at this spot, but the thing is, I think the front office of Seattle right now has too much faith in Geno Smith, and they're willing to ride him for another year.
Now Anthony Richardson could go back him up for a year in development. Let's see here. I've got Miles Murphy out of Clemson.
Okay. For me, I have. Hold on. The Seattle Seahawks have traded away the pick. Selecting now at number 5, the Carolina Panthers select quarterback Will Levis. Part 1 of all my moves that's going to happen. I think, as I've said before, Carolina is a team to watch in this set in the non-spot to potentially move up. They're one of the underdog teams that I could see even snagging the number 1 overall pick. So Carolina is going to be a team to watch, and I think Seattle, while they need some pieces on defense too, this is still a playoff team. Yeah, they kind of got in by the skin of their neck, sure. This is still a playoff team with a Pro Bowl quarterback that had one of the best year of his career. He had an unbelievable year, better than some of the other superstars in the league. And while I think, yes, they could grab a premier guy here at number 5, I still think they can get a premier guy at number 9. So why not trade back to a team that's hungry, a team that needs it, and a team that's desperate, stack up some more picks to use in later rounds, because this is a pretty deep draft across the board when it comes to like edge rushers and other positions. So I could see a trade happening here, or they could just stay here, and that's fine. All right, next up. With the 6th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois.
Tyree Wilson, edge, Texas Tech.
I like that pick.
Thanks.
I
I did it
also
all by
have
myself.
I also have Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois. Even though I also think that they're also going to be adding Jalen Ramsey in the offseason.
Nah, he wants to become a cowboy. Did you see the video?
I'll go ahead and spoil something. We'll get to Jalen Ramsey here in a little bit for me.
So that means you're going to have a trade. I'll just go ahead and mention this. I did have Cam Smith in 1.0, but just seeing where he's fallen just in the last few weeks, I'm also going to have Devin Witherspoon from Illinois.
I think he's one of the most physical corners in this draft, and I think he's going to be a corner that Dan Campbell's going to fall in love with personally. But I could see Dan Campbell just getting another edge rusher to pair with Aiden. Also, shout out to the fact the Lions are getting new uniforms in 2024. Shout out to that. They're introducing a new helmet this year that's going to match their full gray. So I imagine it'll probably be a really nice, clean gray helmet to match with their gray uniform. But yeah, new uniform completely in 2024. So shout out to that. Love to see it. No matter the team, I always love to see uniform changes. Let's see what we got. All right, next up, we have, with the 7th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Paris Johnson Jr. from The Ohio State University.
Go ahead, Ricky.
I still have Peter Skonorski.
I like that.
Hey, Alex, go ahead and hit the button. We've got a trade.
And breaking news, the Las Vegas Raiders have traded the pick with
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay. All right.
Vegas gets A-Rod. They swap the picks. So, 7 for 15. And I forgot which one I exactly have, but that's the basis of the trade.
We get the main thing is A-Rod.
Yeah.
We get the jizz,
And with that, the 7th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Quentin Johnson, receiver, TCU.
Okay.
See, I have Arizona here since they traded with Las Vegas for Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
Arizona here selects Devin Witherspoon, cornerback, Illinois.
Okay. All right.
They desperately need cornerback help.
Okay. I like the moves. Speaking of moves, with the 8th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, in a very non-original move in which I'm copying someone else's homework, the Atlanta Falcons have traded away the pick to the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens are now on the clock. And they are not picking a quarterback. I have them taking the best edge rusher still on the board, Tyree Wilson. I do think it's a real possibility that Atlanta is going to be the landing spot for Lamar. I'm jumping on that bandwagon that Jacob threw out there. I'm all in on it. You're going to see this on my next couple mocks until something happens. I'm all in on this. And honestly, I kind of get the vibe that if that happens, I think Baltimore is going to roll the dice with Tyler Huntley. I'm going to be very real with you boys.
Lamar Jr. Honestly, he plays exactly like Lamar does.
I think that's what's going to happen. So they're not going to go. I will say they could potentially go corner here if this happened with like a Christian Gonzalez. But in my case, Tyree Wilson fell a little bit. So go ahead and grab the best edge rusher on the board. Why not? You have an aging Calais Campbell. Like, come on, go ahead and grab Tyree Wilson.
So you have Atlanta moving from 8 to 7 with that trade?
No, Atlanta will just not have the pick. This is Baltimore. Baltimore.
Okay.
Baltimore trades Lamar Jackson to Atlanta.
For some reason, I thought you were still on 7. I'm sorry.
No, 7 was Vegas. 7 was Vegas.
I'm sorry. I'm
Vegas. Vegas. I had Paris Johnson Jr., the offensive tackle from Ohio State. Sorry, the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. But yeah, I'm jumping in on the Lamar to Atlanta bandwagon. So again, Baltimore at the 8th pick, Tyree Wilson, edge rusher, Texas Tech. That's mine.
I'm 100% am still on the Atlanta getting Lamar Jackson, but just for this draft, I wanted to do something different just in case that wouldn't happen.
Fair.
So I have Atlanta taking Miles Murphy from Clemson.
Okay.
I'll agree with Alex here. I am about 80% sure that if Lamar plays next year not on a franchise tag, it will be in an Atlanta Falcons jersey. but for the sake of Dallas Cowboy tickets and Jacob being right for the first time as far as in like the exact picks, I don't want that to happen. Because I mean, again, I did say exact picks, and I'll say that every episode.
That's
Exact
fine.
picks.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting Lucas Van Ness,
Lucas Van Ness, yeah.
which is, in my opinion, on my board, is the best edge available right now.
I'm gonna agree with Alex. I'm gonna say Tyree Wilson is gonna be drafted here, but I think he stays with the Falcons.
Which is possible.
I don't think the Falcons would have to trade to get Lamar unless they tagged him or unless he's a restricted free agent if they don't sign him. Because I think once you're unrestricted, you can sign with whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, though, Baltimore, if they are going to trade him away, they're going to want something back. To where, knowing Baltimore, they're going to franchise tag him first, to where a trade will have to happen and they'll have to get some kind of compensation back.
Exactly. Grady Jarrett, man. Grady Jarrett.
I've got
plus some
three firsts.
first round draft picks.
I've got 3 firsts going for this. I really do.
They-
I mean, quarterback's the most important position in the league. I've got 3 firsts making this happen next 3 years. So, all right, let's see. With the 9th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, in my particular case, this now belongs to the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seattle Seahawks select the potential next Aaron Donald with Khalil Kancey from Pittsburgh. And I'm not saying it just because he's from Pittsburgh, but because this guy is an absolute freak, and I think he's going to be one of the best players in this draft. All right, now you guys, assuming you guys still all have Carolina. Well, yeah, all you guys still have Carolina here, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have them taking someone who will fall into their lap and they will not have to move to get any type of quarterback. Carolina Panthers select Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky.
I like it.
I have them getting C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, true. CJ fell for you. I just realized that. Yeah, because you guys
Ooh,
will.
he'd look really good in a Carolina uniform, I will say.
Yeah.
Listen, out of all things that Ricky said, I like that a lot. But I do have a trade.
Oh. And the Carolina Panthers have traded the pick too.
A team that is going to be even more aggressive in the quarterback market, the New York Jets. I think they're going to offer them everything they can to try and get this pick. And with that, the 9th overall pick, the New York Jets select Will Levis.
That's right, because you had you had Rodgers going to the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I see the puzzle pieces
Yep.
moving.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that means Derek Carr would have to either go to the Packers or he won't have a job.
Or Carolina.
Oh, he could go to Carolina.
I
Yeah, forgot
would
about
say
Carolina.
Derek Carr would either be at that with that scenario. He would just honestly be at a team in the NFC South. Let's be real. All 4 need a quarterback. So yeah, that's
True.
where he would
The
be.
Saints. I
Yeah.
think he's going to be a Saint
Bucks.
next year.
What about Bucks, guys? Come on. Just think about it. Derek Carr would look good in a Bucks uniform.
Nah, Jameis Winston's going back there.
All right, you need to relax. You need to relax. You need to relax. All right, let's move on. With the 10th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select cornerback Christian Gonzalez from Oregon.
Agreed.
All right, that's where we're on agreement there.
I have the Eagles selecting tackle Paris Johnson Jr. from the Ohio State University.
Okay.
I have them just like I did in the first round. That my 1.0. I have them getting Joey Porter Jr. for Penn State.
Okay, all right. With the 11th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans
Select. Peter.
Go ahead.
Select Peter Storonsky from Northwestern. With losing Tyler Lewan, They need help there.
I have them taking Paris Johnson Jr. from The Ohio State University.
See, and I went a totally different direction because I also had them getting, at first, my 1.0, I had them getting Paris Johnson Jr., and they still may, but they need a receiver badly now. Quentin Johnson, TCU.
For me, I have the Tennessee Titans. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. We have breaking news. The Tennessee Titans have traded away the pick to the Green Bay Packers for Aaron Rodgers in Nashville,
I love
Tennessee.
it.
Green Bay Packers on the clock at number 11, taking Jordan Addison, wide receiver from USC. And
I would love that.
Aaron Rodgers in
Please
Nashville.
Bring A-Rod to Tennessee.
Tennessee looking pretty good right now. A-Rod would look good in those powder blue uniforms, I will say.
I think that is everyone's talking Jets. Everyone's talking Raiders. But there's another team that could sneak up and make this happen, and that team is going to be the Tennessee Titans. Watch some conversation potentially come up. Just depends on what he says if he's going to retire or not, which I think is very possible. But Tennessee Titans they're the dark horse in this. I'm calling it right fucking now.
Honestly, out of those 4 teams, I like Tennessee the most.
It's a situation where with Tennessee where it's like, how much would you give up for Aaron? Because it's like, if he is committed to coming back, you're getting 1 year. Anything after that's a bonus year. So it's really a situation of how much does that 1 year mean to you? How much does that 1 year mean to you to really try to go on a run? And getting Aaron Rodgers and having a guy like Derrick Henry that he can hand the ball off to, that's game changing for him. The defense has a lot of solid pieces in place. They just need to continue to build on the defense. He automatically makes any receiver he has better. While last year they struggled to begin the year, we saw the improvements throughout the year. So, I mean, I'm just plus he owns land in Tennessee. Like, come on, he bought land over in Nashville. So, I'm just saying.
The only thing I would have to say about that is I think Tennessee will take a hard look in where they're at, knowing they are a couple of pieces away from getting over that hump. And I think right now with losing Robert Woods, losing Tyler Lewan, with an already a kind of a battered offensive line, I don't think they're willing to make that jump.
And that's fair. That's fair. Because I thought about that a lot. I was just trying to be spicy. But I'm sticking to my guns that I think Tennessee could be a dark horse in the Aaron Rodgers conversation. All right, let's head over to the next one. With the 12th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Brian Brees, D lineman from Clemson. Assuming I said his last name right. I don't know if it did.
Yep. I have them taking Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver from the Ohio State University.
I also have the Houston Texans selecting receiver Jackson Smith
In Jigba.
from the Ohio State University.
And I have the exact same thing that you and Jacob have.
I'm the one oddball. That's fine. I accept that. All right. With the 13th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia.
Agreed.
I still want the record to be known. I still like Peter the most, but I think he's going to slide a bit in this draft.
Since I have the trade with the New York Jets and Carolina here, so with me, Carolina with the 13th overall pick select Brian Breesy from Clemson.
I have Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. I'm sorry, the Ohio State University.
Yeah, come on now.
All right. With the 14th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Peter Skoronski, tackle from Northwestern. Now he's off the board.
I have a trade.
We have a trade alert.
New England Patriots have traded away their pick to the Green Bay Packers.
Whoa.
No.
Oh,
Like
They
it.
jumped
wow.
up. Okay.
For Aaron Rodgers. And
Ooh.
the Green Bay Packers
Thought I was
select
spicy.
tight end Michael Mayer from Notre Dame.
Oh, I thought I was spicy with Tennessee.
He took a little something out of my 1.0, Alex. He took a little something from my 1.0. Okay, I see you. Trade away, then pick up a tight end. Okay.
I absolutely love the fit with. Okay, so actually, if Alex, if you look at my 2.0 draft, I did not have that happening, but I changed it in my mind because I absolutely love the idea of Aaron Rodgers being with Bill Belichick. I think if they pair them two together, they'll win a Super Bowl. I honest to God think they would win a Super Bowl.
I think they're going to be very strong contenders if that happens. I agree with you.
Could you imagine seeing him in that uniform?
Yeah.
Oh, the New England Patriots have such good uniforms, man. And Aaron Rodgers makes anything look better.
Would he wear number 12?
Oh, shit. That would be controversial.
Or do you think he would try to strike up that controversy, or do you think he would just like I'll just take my college number, give me 8? Because he's got a lot of respect for Tom, so
I don't know.
it's tough. He also has a lot of respect for himself. Oh man, who else has got their pick here?
I think everybody already has, haven't they?
Okay. I wasn't sure if we missed anyone. All right. With the 15th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Lucas Van Ness, edge rusher from Iowa. Beast of an edge rusher. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in the pros.
Agreed.
Whose pick is this again?
Green
Is
Bay.
it the Packers?
Yep, Green Bay.
Yeah, I've got them getting Michael Mayer here.
Okay. Shane, you're muted. Did we lose Shane? Shane.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What? I got a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Green Bay, 15th pick. Well, not Green Bay for you. Well, I guess no. Yeah. No, it's still
I have the Raiders.
Okay,
here with Jordan Addison.
Okay. All right, next up. With the 16th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select the man who is going to cost a lot of people their jobs. Quarterback Anthony Richardson. I want the record to be known. I'm still hard in the stance that I think all of the AR stuff could all be smoke, and he slips out of the first completely. But, again, I want to be a little spicier, and I feel like if he's going to slip down to here, because at this point, someone's going to get fucking desperate, and they're going to take this guy way too early, and this guy's going to be a bust. And I feel like Washington, with Eric Bieniemy at now as the OC, who's actually the OC and the associate head coach, I feel like AR is a potential candidate here if he's still sitting there at Washington's pick.
Can we all agree on something here? If in 5 years that Anthony Richardson actually becomes a good quarterback, we got to do something special.
Oh, I have no problem admitting that I was wrong. I'll even make a giant collaboration of every time I said he sucked and throw it all together just to remind everyone I said this. I have no problem about that.
All right, you heard it here first, folks.
I'm a man. I will own up when I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong in this situation.
I have the Washington Commanders picking Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas.
Okay.
I have them picking up Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of things, I would hate for this to happen. Because I think it's both bad for the player and bad for the organization. But I've seen stranger things happen. I think Washington's okay with sticking with Sam Howell to see how he does this year. But with the 16th overall pick, the Washington Commanders select Anthony Richardson.
All right. All right, let's hop over from there. We're on the second half of this thing. With the 17th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select the same player I said last time of Joey Porter Jr. because he's got family connections, and I'm just going to go with that.
I have them picking Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia.
That's also very probable if he's still there.
I also have them getting Broderick Jones.
I have them getting, in my opinion, the best corner or second best corner in the draft, Christian Gonzalez, Oregon.
Yeah, he slipped quite a bit in yours, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
With the 18th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select, led by Coach Dan Campbell, is taking his own version of himself with tight end Michael Mayer. I do want the record to be known. I think Dalton is the better receiving tight end, but Michael is a strong balance of a receiving and blocking tight end. I think that's what potentially Dan Campbell is going to go for here.
I do agree with you. I think they're going to get a tight end, but it's not going to be in the draft. I think the Lions are going to be the ones to pick up Dalton Schultz when he becomes a free agent.
Fair enough.
I have Detroit picking Brian Branch here, safety from Alabama.
I actually like that pick, and I almost went Brian Branch here, but I'm gonna get Lucas Van Ness.
Shane, you're up.
With the 18th overall pick, the Detroit Lions select Kalijah Cansey, defensive lineman, Pittsburgh.
I think you probably pronounced that better than I did. All right, moving on. With the 19th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Osiris Torrance, offensive lineman from Florida. Building up that interior. This man's never let up a sack in his career, I'm pretty sure.
Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, Penn State.
Okay.
19th overall pick. Oh,
Anthony Richardson out of Florida.
They're going to have two Florida quarterbacks, Kyle Trask and Anthony Richardson together.
Oh, don't forget, Florida State quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Oh, relax. Oh, my God. Shane, did you get your pick in? Did I miss it?
It's the 19th overall pick with
Tampa, yeah.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm looking at something. I do apologize.
Stop looking at porn.
Listen, dude. It's that time of the day, dude.
That might be true. It's a nice, clean 6:37 p.m., but you need to relax.
Lord.
Shane's like, oh shit, let me close my tabs.
He's been ousted in front of everybody.
Oh man.
All right, Shane, what you got for 19? Did we lose him? He's too deep in the porn, boys. He's too deep in the porn. All right, well, while we try to collect Shane, we'll hop over to 20 real quick and follow back up with him. All right. With the 20th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah. I understand they have Noah Fant, but why not add an excellent weapon like Dalton in there for Geno Smith?
I have them taking Kalijah Cansey, D-tackle from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually like both y'all's picks. I like both y'all's picks a lot. I've got Brian Branch out of Alabama.
Okay.
Oh, you already doomed that man. He's going to be sitting the bench now for the rest of his career.
No,
He's bench.
Okay, I get that.
Hello.
You're back.
Hello.
You're back.
Unlike Anthony Richardson, he's going to be a starter.
Hey,
Damn.
now, hold on. Anthony Richardson could very well be a starter. Whether or not he's good or not, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, true.
He'll be another Jamarcus Russell.
I agree. All right, Shane.
Fitting that I had him going to Las Vegas then.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said if Al Davis was still alive, man, I would totally agree.
Yeah, if Al was still around, bro, Anthony, I would be locking an AR to Vegas, hands down, no doubt in my mind. All right, Shane. 19 Tampa Bay, 20 Seattle. What you got for those two?
Okay, so 19, I have Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Miles Murphy, edge, Clemson. And 20, I have the Seattle Seahawks trading the pick
Okay.
with Jacksonville Jaguars because I
Duval?
think the Jaguars need a corner, and I think this guy fits their scheme. Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State.
I'd love that pick. I would love that pick. Yeah, overall, Jacksonville needs a lot of help in the secondary, like quite a bit. All right, let's see. With the 21st pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Jackson Smith, Najibba.
Njigba.
Najigba. From the Ohio State University.
I have them selecting the third best wide receiver, in my opinion, in this draft, Quentin Johnson from TCU.
So you also see a fall for him, because I see a fall for him. As it's noted, I have not had him selected yet.
Absolutely do.
I'm sensing a fall for him. And as you guys may have, or may not have also noticed, I also have another fall for a player I've yet to name, of Miles Murphy, that I'm predicting a fall for.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
With the 21st overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select who I think could very potentially be the best receiver out of this draft, as far as accolades and personal, like yards and Pro Bowls and things. Zay Flowers from Boston College.
Okay.
I actually like that pick, but I have the Chargers taking Jordan Addison here.
Okay. All right, let's see. With the 22nd pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Quentin Johnson, wide receiver from TCU. Now he's off the board. But I do see a fall potentially happening for Quentin Johnson.
I have them taking a sleeper at cornerback, Deontay Banks from Maryland.
That was Baltimore, and Deontay was a lot of my early ones. I'm with you.
I do like that one as well. I am going to go a different direction because it just looks like they're not going to come into terms with Lamar Jackson. I think they're going to take a quarterback here. He has kind of risen up the draft board, he has risen up the rankings just a little bit. Hendon Hooker has kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. So I'm going to go with someone that's kind of on the radar just a little bit. And I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens take Tanner McKee out of Stanford.
Let's go! Let's go!
Jacob is so high on Tanner, man. We were talking about this before you got in.
I have Baltimore Ravens selecting Deontay Banks, cornerback, Maryland.
The Tanner McKee pick. Shout out to that. I like all these picks. I like because the Deontay Banks one that both of you guys said, that was a lot of my early 2.0s is that I had them going corner. But I like the Tanner pick as well. I like that. All right, with the 23rd overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback from Mississippi State.
Brian Brees, D-line, Clemson.
I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Brian Branch, safety, Alabama.
Okay.
I have them selecting Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh.
I'm really high on him. I like him a lot. Honestly. All right. With the 24th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Duval Jaguars have traded away. No, I'm just kidding. That almost happened. I had some mock drafts lined up where that pick was almost traded, but maybe that'll appear in another day. Jacksonville selects Brian Branch, safety from Alabama. They need defensive back help across the board, whether it be corner or safety. Brian Branch still sitting here. Easy pickup for Duval.
With some good cornerbacks and the top safety, Brian Branch, being off the board, I have Jacksonville taking Antonio Johnson, safety from Texas A&M.
I
From
Actually,
from my previous trade, I have the Seattle Seahawks selecting Andre Carter II, edge from Army.
Okay.
I actually like Jacob's pick better than do mine, but I'm gonna stick with my 1.0 and say Zay Flowers out of Boston College.
Okay. Okay. All right. With the 25th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants have traded away the pick. Now on the clock, selecting the Arizona Cardinals. In this trade, the New York Giants have traded away DeAndre Hopkins to New York. And with the 25th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Zay Flowers from Boston College.
Oh, that's so nasty.
That is a nasty trade. I would love to see that. But with the 25th overall pick, the New York Giants select Dalton Kincaid, tight end, Utah.
I have the Giants taking wide receiver here, and I have them taking someone who I personally think is going to be a bust as far as the top wide receivers go. Jordan Addison, USC.
Okay.
And this is where Brian Breesy finally falls off my board. I had him pretty high on my first one. I had him falling pretty good on this one.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, that is cool. I think who else had Brian Brees just now taken? Was that Shane?
That was made to
okay.
the Vikings.
Okay. Yeah, Brian Brees is a guy that could potentially go late top 10 in the 10s or in the 20s. He could go literally anywhere at the first at this point. All right. Next up, another slight spicy pick, kind of, for you guys. You may like the pick, but you may not like where the pick's happening is the thing. With the 26th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select a guy they most certainly could have gotten in the second, potentially the third round, but they're going to get him now because when they find a guy they like, they're going to go ahead and get him. And that man is linebacker Jack Campbell from Iowa. A guy they could totally get later, but they're going to go ahead and grab him now because they love him. Look, key in Tyler fucking Smith.
I like that pick because he reminds me of Sean Lee, and I was a big Sean Lee fan back in the day when he was healthy. But I have Dallas taking someone that I have falling just because there's not many places for him to go on my draft board. There's not all the teams that would get him have already picked up players before him that are more of a necessity. I have Dallas picking Peter Skoronski from Northwestern.
Man, quite a fall on yours. I just didn't even realize I didn't realize he didn't get picked on yours yet.
Didn't the Cowboys get an offensive lineman last year too?
Tyler
Absolutely,
Smith.
but hell, we'll do it. We'll run it back every year. First round draft pick, lineman, baby.
Very, very true. And that's usually when you try to get a lineman. I have them going a different direction though. I have them getting a running back. It all falls on what they're going to do with Zeke. Are they going to give him the league minimum? Just depends, which I think they should let him go. I've got them getting Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
So, do you have them not retaining Tony Pollard?
Yes, but Tony Pollard's also injured.
Yeah, but he'll be healthy for next year.
Got to have a backup.
Malik Davis is our backup.
Like I
From
said,
The Ohio State University. Thank you very much.
Like I said, you got to have a backup.
Okay, whoa, hold on now.
I have the Dallas Cowboys with a 26th overall pick, picking somebody who I think significantly kind of fell. I'm a big fan of him, Nolan Smith, edge, Georgia.
Okay.
You think he's gonna go high?
I mean, I think he fell a little. I think he can go between the 18 and 24 range, depending. But I mean, he did kind of fall, in my opinion. I think 26 to 31 is kind of low for him, from what I've seen from his tape. But like, especially like the national championship game and before that, like, I think he's a good player, and I think he fits Dallas well. I think they'd be happy to take him with 26.
Oh, definitely. The two best things that he has going for him is that he's a field general when it comes to the defense, and he has such a high motor.
Facts. All right. With the 27th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Bijan Robinson, running back, Texas. I'm going to keep hammering this one.
I want to say I had that
I-
one too in 1.0.
Although, this pick may not happen if Buffalo goes out and gets Miles Sanders.
Ooh, true.
I think they're going to be trying to aim for Saquon Barkley again, but I also have them selecting Bijan Robinson from University of Texas.
I'll be honest, I do not think New York is going to be getting rid of Saquon this year. I have Buffalo taking Zay Flowers from Boston College.
So here's the thing, though, boys. Do they have the money to go get running backs like Miles Sanders and Saquon Barkley?
I think they have the money to get Sanders. I don't think they have the money to get Saquon.
I wouldn't think so. So, I would agree with. I'm gonna agree with Bijan Robinson if the Cowboys don't select him. But if the Cowboys do select Bijan Robinson, I've got Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama going to the Bills.
So you just have him get running back no matter what.
Yeah, I've got to run back no matter what. I just that's their biggest. That is their biggest flaw right now.
It
is a running back, and I love Devin Singletary, but he has fallen off so much these last couple of years. It's not even funny.
I have been hearing talks, Ricky, that Buffalo is interested in not Zeke, but they're interested in Tony. I don't know if Jerry's going to be willing and dealing or not this offseason, but that's something to keep your eye on.
So the only thing, oh goodness gracious, that would be so tough. That would be so tough to get rid of Tony Pollard right now, because if that's the case, he's going to draft a running back. You cannot unless he's planning on drafting a running back for sure, because I still think he can, depending on what happens with Zeke, because more than likely Zeke's not going to be a Cowboy next year. That's tough. I don't see how you'd get rid of Tony Pollard unless you just get something in return you can't say no to.
I see Zeke still being a Cowboy next year.
He'd have to be the league minimum. That's all he's.
He says he's willing to take a significant pay cut.
The injuries have just, and that's the thing. The injuries have just piled up on this guy. I mean, they have just piled up left and right on him, and I feel bad because I want to see the Zeke that we used to see, and we're just not going to see it anymore.
Did we all get our picks in there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I will say, once again, just last tidbit, I think we can all definitely agree Buffalo has to address running back this offseason somehow, some way.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Yep. Singletary is not the answer.
Yep. All right. With the 28th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Antoine Harrison, tackle from Oklahoma.
Agreed.
I will also agree with that one.
Holy shit, one that we're all on the same page with. Who would have guessed? All right. With the 29th overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Deontay Banks, cornerback from Maryland.
The Saints take their quarterback of the future, Tanner McKee from Stanford.
Okay.
The New Orleans
I also
Saints
have.
Go ahead.
I also have Deontay Banks.
With the 29th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select Will McDonald, the fourth from Iowa State, edge.
Okay. Oop. With the 30th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Will McDonald the fourth from Iowa State. Keep on adding to the edge rusher.
Have him taking Nolan Smith from Georgia.
I have them taking Osiris Torrance out of Florida.
I have him dropping completely out of the first round, honestly.
And see, and I almost dropped him completely out of the first round. Just for the simple fact is just by researching some of the ones that look like they're starting to move up. I could see them dropping them out and getting Nolan Smith.
I agree with Ricky. They get Osiris Torrance, guard out of Florida.
Okay, and the final pick of the first round, since Miami had their pick forfeited. With the 31st pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs trade away the pick. Now selecting with the 31st overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft are the Los Angeles Rams. I'm sure you guys can piece together how they got to this pick.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey will be a Kansas City Chief.
No, please, no. Please, for the love of God.
Now, let me say this. Money-wise, they're not there yet. They're barely over the cap, like 5 to 6 mil. But number one, they have an unbelievable amount of fucking picks to make this happen. The Rams are trying to recoup picks right now. The Rams want picks first and foremost. Literally in just this year alone, the Chiefs have, I think, 12 picks in just this draft. They got the picks to happen. They have more picks in next year's draft, not more than 12, but they have more than their 7 picks for next year's draft as well. They can trade away picks to make this happen. And with the cap issues, this team is very good with cap stuff. Okay, we've seen it over and over again. And this team is a team of dudes just wanting to win championships. I guarantee you, if they made this happen, there are multiple players on this team that'd be willing to transition some money into signing bonuses or whatever to free up the cap space. Jalen Ramsey will be a Kansas City Chief. And with this pick, the Rams select the man who has fallen all the way down here, Miles Murphy, edge rusher from Clemson, who could definitely use a little polishing, and who better to help get him polished than Aaron fucking Donald. And that's my buck, boys.
I'll be honest. I like it, but I don't want it to happen because God forbid the Kansas City Chiefs gets better.
I will say, I'll go ahead and say this. That one, I thought about it a lot. It was definitely in the brain. It wasn't some last minute thing. But from the last couple of mocks that I had worked up, I did have the surprise pick of Jacksonville getting Jalen Ramsey back. That was definitely a pick that I had lined up.
That was you dreaming last night, Alex.
It was definitely not me dreaming because I'm not a Jalen fan personally. But he has expressed his love for Jacksonville still. And while we still have Trent Baalke, who's a complete stooge, I definitely think he'd be more interested to come back to Jacksonville with a superstar quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who's poised to be a superstar quarterback. They're getting like Calvin Ridley in there. They're getting the pieces in. You know what I mean? They have a good head coach. I feel like Jalen would be more interested to come back to Jacksonville. Why? I mean, I don't have negative or positive feelings about it because I'm not a Jalen fan. I think he's very overrated. He's still a good corner. I'm not saying he's bad, but I definitely think I think Jacksonville is a low key dark horse landing spot. I think the top landing spots for Jalen. I do think Detroit's in there. I don't think they're number one. I think Vegas is in that hunt. I think Dallas is in that hunt, and I think KC is in that hunt. I think Philly's in that hunt too. Philly was one of my early ones as well, of the Rams having that 10th overall pick. Because, and Philly, getting Jalen Ramsey, that was also something I toyed with a lot, but I'm locking in Jalen to KC.
I have Kansas City taking a guy who isn't even really confirmed whether or not he's going to be able to even play in the NFL because of restrictions. Andre Smith, the junior from Army.
Andre Carter, or is it Andre Smith?
Andre Smith.
Okay.
I have them getting a Smith, but it's a different Smith. I have them getting Nolan Smith.
Okay.
I have them selecting Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame.
Okay. And that's our 2.0s. All right.
Woo!
Woo! Which I will definitely post to Twitter this time. I forgot last time. I'm sorry. I'll get him worked up by the time this week is over. I'm going out of town for a couple nights here, so I'll get it worked up soon. Ricky, if you could send me in that channel your mock draft for me.
All right, then.
Yeah, and I'll get it worked up and I'll post it as our nice image that I totally forgot the first time around. So no one's even seen those yet besides us, which is so sad. But I'll get it fixed. But yeah, spicy though. I like a lot of the stuff that we did here today. Mine is very wacky. I went kind of wacky with some stuff, but I think it's all very, very possible for sure. Boys, do we got anything that we want to shout out? Any news related things we want to shout out? We just want to go ahead and wrap up the show because I'm craving some barbecue fries right now, baby. I am hungry. Yep.
Yeah,
Ooh is right,
yeah. I
my
have to
friend.
dip out. I have to go cook. So I'm ready to wrap it up.
All right. You boys all feel the same. Jacob, you got anything else? Rick, you got anything else?
Little surprise. I'm gonna be coming back to streaming next week.
Ooh,
Finally.
let's go. What day?
Hopefully Monday.
Okay. What are we doing?
Destiny 2, because the new
Lightfall.
DLC came out today.
Lightfall. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Man, I've been meaning to get back into Destiny 2 for literally fucking years, and I still I'll get on, I'll play for a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is fun, and then I'll get off, and I won't get back on for like a year, and I go through the same cycle of like, oh, this is just taking up space, uninstall, and then a few months later, oh, I want to play Destiny 2. I gotta sit down for 4 hours and install this game again. Oh man, it's rough. All right, I'm hitting the music though. We're gonna get out of here. So, boys, last thoughts on anything that we talked about here today with our mock drafts or anything else of the sorts?
Rip to Leonard Fournette's career.
Yeah, cut from Tampa.
Yep.
Unless he wants to go down to XFL.
He could play quarterback for Ben DiNucci.
You know, just some of these releases that we saw, we did see potentially the end of some of these guys' careers. You know, Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota, and Leonard Fournette. Potentially saw the end of those careers. Unless they're willing to be backups.
That's the only way.
Which Marcus was. You know, he was a backup before, so he may do it again. But anyway, once again, friendly reminder, we will be on a break next week. We'll be back on not Tuesday, but Wednesday, March 15th, which is free agency kickoff. We'll be live there for episode 60 of ATFS, the first episode of Season 3. Wonderful Season 2. Thank you so much for any support that you've given us throughout Season 2. We appreciate the hell out of you, and we look forward to an incredible Season 3. This Season 3 is going to be our best season yet by far. I have no doubt about it. I'm so pumped for it. Shout out to the boys for all the work they do. Shout out to you for listening. We appreciate the hell out of you. Until next time, have a good one. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.